Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. So, I didn't do a video last night. The trial officially started yesterday, about lunchtime, I would say, maybe 11, 12-ish. There was no opening statements on Wednesday, nor was there any testimony. Basically, what happened, for those that are not aware, on Wednesday, they were going to do the opening statements, but they opted to do the field trip for the viewing. They went and drove around in a bus with the jury. They viewed like Guilford Street, the Burger King, some key areas that will be just some key locations that will be discussed during the case. I personally found that to be odd. I don't know if that was the only time they could do it, because in my opinion, before opening statements, it was just a bit awkward as far as to have the jury follow it. But again, I mean, I'm not the judge, so that was all her, her decision. That said, Adam has not appeared in court yesterday or today. He refused his transport, so he decided that he just wanted to stay in his jail cell today and yesterday. Now, yesterday, he did plead guilty to 2 counts. He pled guilty to the falsifying evidence and as well as the desecration of a corpse. So we still have 3 other charges that this case is going to be, judging him on. So obviously the main one being the second-degree murder of Harmony Montomgery. That said, I'm going to kind of push through some of the testimony today. I'm just going to kind of play some bits and pieces of the opening. I will say this is triggering and there is language. I'm going to do my best to try to get around pieces of that, but I will tell you for a fact it is triggering. So major trigger warning. I think that should just be cemented on this case from day one. Harmony lived a horrific life when she was living with her father. I mean, there was other issues before that, but once the judge gave custody to Adam, yeah, it was horrific. So let me start with the state's opening. I'll play a bit of that, and I'll discuss it a bit, and then jump into the defense's side, and then we'll go into some of the testimony. Today we had the foster mom, Crystal Surrey. There was a nurse, Uncle Kevin, and a couple others that appeared for the state.
Where is Harmony Montomgery? Where is Harmony? When people across this nation, from Florida all the way up to Alaska and everywhere in between, were looking for Harmony, there's one person who is not. One person. The one person who should have been looking for Harmony was not. Her biological father, that defendant that you saw 2 days ago, he wasn't looking for her, and in fact, he was hoping that she wouldn't be found. His concern was not with finding this innocent 5-year-old girl. His concern was that she would be found, and that his heinous and depraved actions would be brought to light. That's because he was the only person in this world who knows where Harmony is, who knows where her body is, and he was hoping that she would never be found. The one person, the one and only person who murdered Harmony, who butchered her body, and who disposed of her like yesterday's trash. This case is about Harmony Montomgery. I don't want that to get lost as we progress throughout this lengthy trial. This case is about Harmony Montomgery, but it's also about the defendant, his actions, his rage, his brutality, and his escalation in violence. The murder of Harmony Montomgery, that was just the beginning of the depraved actions of this defendant and what this case is all about. It's about a man who, for 2 years, evaded apprehension, didn't have to answer for his crimes, had no appreciation or concern about Harmony being missing because he already knew she was dead. For 2 years before the Manchester Police Department initiated their search for Harmony Montgomery, that man got away with murder. His only concern, other than Harmony's body being found, was to keep his wife, Kayla Montgomery, from coming in here and telling you all what he did to her. His heinous actions, his cover-up, what she witnessed. For 2 years, he got away with butchering a 5-year-old girl. And that defendant made sure that Harmony would never be found, that she'd be gone without a trace. You'll see, he believed that if there was no body, there could be no evidence of the horrible things that he did to her, and he would get away with it. And so he went to great lengths to cover up his crime, to cover up beating Harmony to death for a bathroom accident. He went to great lengths to cover up his conduct. Beating Harmony to death because she soiled herself. And he thought that if he destroyed the evidence, what remained of Harmony, if he destroyed Harmony, he could never be charged. He was careless in this meticulous cover-up. He made mistakes. We're going to hear about those mistakes because it's evidence of his crimes. It's evidence of what he did. So let's talk about the evidence in this case. On December 7th, 2019, the defendant beat Harmony to death because she had a bathroom accident, something she had no control over. She'd peed her pants, and he murdered her in a series of attacks, of brutal strikes that began that morning in the car that she was living out of and ended in the Burger King parking lot that you all saw yesterday on The View. He carried her body with him for months. For months he carried her body. And he discarded her with zero appreciation for the life that he'd taken. Just a fear of being caught. And in the months that followed, he beat, he injured, he terrorized the only witness to his crime, the only person that could come in here and tell you what he did. She was his loose end, Kayla Montgomery, his wife. He conditioned Kayla through force and through threats with the purpose of making sure that she would never come in here and tell you what she'd seen, what he did. Beating Harmony to death for another accident, destroying her body, freezing her, thawing her, squeezing the liquid out of her, compressing her body into a bag like this one. Compressing her body into a bag like this one and filling it with lime to further decompose her. Unspeakable things. And this is what he did to the only witness he left alive. She was beaten, she was conditioned, and she was living in fear. She was in a nightmare with no end while he dragged around Harmony's body for months.
All right. I am, as you guys have all heard so far throughout my videos, I am not a fan of Kayla. Not a fan at all. Unfortunately, she is the key witness in this case, but she is almost as horrible as Adam is. She could have done so much to save and help Harmony. Kayla could have saved Harmony. She could have taken her out of that home along with her 2 children. She could have left. She could have gone for help. But she didn't do a damn thing. So as far as I'm concerned, She is an accomplice, an accessory, everything but the one who beat little Harmony to death. Of course, we jump to the defense, which I'm going to play a bit of their opening statement here. And as expected, they are tossing Kayla completely under the bus. And like I said, totally expected that this was the way they were going to play this one.
You were just left with that picture of Harmony, and seeing that picture is heartbreaking, knowing that Harmony is dead. But Adam Montgomery did not kill Harmony. Adam Montgomery did not beat Harmony in the head as he approached the Burger King drive-thru. Adam Montgomery did not cause Harmony's death. Kayla Montgomery was the last person to see Harmony alive and know how Harmony died. But she didn't come clean with Adam. She didn't come clean with the police. And she will not come clean with you. She is still lying about the cause of Harmony's death. Even though Kayla now has her deal with the state, she continues to lie. The only reason Kayla has to lie now is to protect herself. The only reason she has to lie and point the finger at Adam is because the truth points the finger at her. The only reason Kayla has to lie to make Harmony's death so brutal and foul by Adam is to hide that Adam was protecting Kayla, his wife, and the mother of his kids. Now look, I'm not pretending that Adam isn't innocent here. Adam is not an innocent here. He and Kayla covered up Harmony's death. He's not an innocent here. He and Kayla moved Harmony's body from place to place to keep it hidden. And Adam is not an innocent here. He and Kayla put her body in a shower to wash her remains of the fluids of decomposition and then permanently hid her remains. You can and should find him guilty of those crimes. But in committing those crimes and sticking with a story that protected his wife, Adam set himself up for Kayla's betrayal. Her betrayal to accuse him in the most vile way possible of what he did not do. To accuse him of brutally killing his, not her, daughter, when she knew that was not what happened. The evidence that will show you that Adam did not brutally murder Harmony will come mostly, and very reluctantly, from his accuser, Kayla. Not from other witnesses or the physical evidence, but by showing that Kayla's lies continue. And the only one protected by those lies is her. Because only she, other than an infant and a toddler, was around when Harmony died. Only she knows the truth, and only she has benefited from all the lies she has told. November 27, 2019, a day before Thanksgiving. Adam, Kayla, Adam's daughter Harmony, toddler son Seamus, infant son Declan were evicted from their home on Guilford Street in Manchester. They began living out of their Chrysler Sebring. In the following week, when Adam was running around trying to make money to get them out of their situation, Kayla was left cooped up in that seemingly increasingly smaller by the minute car with a 5-year-old child, not her own, a 2-year-old toddler, and a less than 1-year infant, all of whom needed attention, all of whom needed to move around, and none of whom were doing well being cooped up in that car. And Kayla didn't do well either. Adam was off doing his own thing, and Kayla was stuck. Harmony's body was not discovered lifeless in the car at that busy intersection you saw yesterday. It was not discovered at that intersection in the middle of the day on December 7, 2019, as Kayla now claims. Both Adam and Kayla discovered Harmony's cold, lifeless body much earlier, in the dark of night, behind Colonial Village, when Adam returned from his business. Kayla made Adam feel responsible. She claimed not to know what happened. It was Adam's fault for everything they were going through. It was not her fault, she insisted. She thought all the kids were asleep. He had to protect her. He had to protect their children. If anyone found out, their children would be taken. Adam stood by Kayla, and together they covered up Harmony's death. By that decision, Adam became so intertwined in Harmony's death that he could not get out. Neither Adam nor Kayla knew what to do, so they put the decision off. Adam placed Harmony's body in a duffel bag from the car and placed that duffel bag in the trunk. And Harmony's body was in that bag in the trunk of the car when it broke down at the intersection of Webster and Elm. They had driven off from the Colonial Village apartments to try and figure out what to do, where to put Harmony's body. But then the car broke down. When it did, Adam grabbed the bag from the trunk and carried Harmony's body away from the intersection to the parking lot at Colonial Village. From there, as you'll hear, Harmony's body was moved from place to place until Adam and Kayla finally figured out a plan to hide the body permanently. When asked, Adam and Kayla told people that Harmony was back with her biological mom in Massachusetts.
As we can see, they're throwing Kayla under the bus. They're saying that she told Adam something happened to Harmony while you were gone, and you have to help me cover this up to save our family. So conveniently, the actual facts that we've heard through the PCA and that we're going to hear, they're all going to sort of try to fill those little holes, but it's not going to work because we all know who the real monster is, and that's Adam. It's Adam Montgomery. So then we had they took a break, and then we had some witnesses come up. There was a nurse that saw Harmony when he took her to the clinic. This nurse stated that Harmony was underweight and had some issues, but apparently nothing was really done. There was, there was also an officer that came up, and there's three key witnesses though there's a couple key witnesses here. There's three key witnesses that I wanted to play pieces of testimony from. First one is the foster mom. Foster mom Michelle Rafferty. She originally got Harmony when she was 2 months old. That's when she first came to live with her, that she'll testify to here. And she was told that Harmony had so many health issues she may not live past 9 months old. Of course, Harmony defeated all these odds. And they ended up she and her husband ended up actually caring for Harmony on 3 different occasions. Because Crystal was not a fit mother.
We had the privilege of being Harmony's foster parents.
And you mentioned the name Harmony just now.
Yep.
Who is she to you?
She was our foster daughter.
What did she call you?
Mama.
Your husband, Tim, what did she call him?
She called him Dada and Papa.
You said that you'd been a foster parent for 13 years?
Yep.
What point in that timeline, those 13 years, did you take Harmony in?
Like probably halfway through. Probably halfway through the years. Yep. So she came to us at 2014.
And tell us about that.
Yep. So you always start off, you get a phone call from DCF, and they tell you a little bit about the child. And Harmony was 2 months old at the time, and she had a pretty intimidating diagnosis at first. So, I did a lot of Google research, but I still knew that we wanted to say yes, and Harmony came and lived with us when she was 2 months old.
Pretty intimidating. What were you told about Harmony before
So
you took her?
we were told that she has hydroprocephaly, which is like a disorder with her brainstem. And we were told that she was legally blind in both eyes, and that she probably wasn't going to live 7 months.
I'm sorry, can you say that last thing?
Yeah, that she probably wasn't going to live past 7 months old. Hydroprocephaly was the original first diagnosis.
You mentioned this blindness.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell us about that?
So at that time, she had a whole team of doctors, and she was considered legally blind in both eyes. However, I started to notice when I would feed Harmony that she would track me with one of her eyes, at least one of her eyes. And, then we went on to get different diagnoses for her.
You mentioned having Harmony since she was 2 months old.
Yes.
What was Harmony's date of birth?
6/7/14.
June 7th, 2014.
That's correct.
What kind of child was Harmony Montgomery?
She was a loving child. She was very sweet, very happy. She was super social. She loved to be with people. We used to joke around with her to leave a sparkle wherever she went, because wherever she went, she left people happy, and you knew that you met her.
How long was Harmony in your care for?
So, which time? We took care of Harmony 3 times. She came back into care 3 times. So for the first time, she was with us for about 2 months. Then she returned to her mother, and then she returned to us. And then she stayed with us for about a little over 2.5 years, and then she went back with her mother, and then came back 10 months later.
You mentioned these disabilities.
Yes.
Was Harmony developmentally delayed?
She was not. It definitely could have been a possibility. She started off with that original diagnosis, and going through testing, she had a neurologist, endocrinologist, ophthalmologist, and we had a whole team of specialists that worked with her, and they changed the diagnosis to septo-optic dysplasia.
And were you taking any steps when she was in your care to treat her needs?
Yeah, absolutely. Harmony had, like I said, a team of doctors, but she also had early intervention workers. So she had 2. She had a nurse that came weekly, and she had a vision specialist that came weekly, and we did all the treatments and the programs that she needed with that.
Was she meeting benchmarks at that time?
She was meeting every benchmark. She was succeeding, yeah. Yep.
Ms. Rafferty, when was the last time you saw Harmony Montgomery?
The last time I saw Harmony was December of 2018.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
So, Your Honor, I'm showing the witness what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 97. Ms. Rafferty, do you recognize this?
I do.
I'm going to get close to a microphone so I'm picked up. What is this?
That's the day that they were doing school pictures, and she wanted to have a sparkly blue dress.
And do you recognize the person that's depicted in this picture?
Yes.
Who is it?
It's Harmony Montgomery.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of Harmony as you remember her?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this point I move to admit as State's Exhibit 97.
No objection. All right, the ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit.
And I move to publish at this
You
point,
may
Your Honor.
publish it.
Mrs. Rafferty, do you know someone named Adam Montgomery?
I do. Yes.
How do you know him?
He was Harmony's biological father.
Would you recognize the defendant if you saw him again?
Absolutely.
Your Honor, may I approach you?
Yes, you may.
Shows the defense was been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 101. May I approach the witness?
Yes, you may.
Ms. Rafferty,
Yes.
do you recognize this item?
Yes.
Can you tell me what it is?
It's Adam Montgomery.
And Your Honor, at this point, is this
It's
a fair
a picture, yes.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of Adam Montgomery as you remember him?
Yes.
I move to mark as full, Your Honor, to strike the ID and mark as full, State's Exhibit 101.
Any objection?
No objection, and we agree that that is a photo of the defendant.
Okay, thank you. The ID is stricken. It's entered as a full exhibit.
And I move to publish it at this
You
point.
may publish it.
Ms. Rafferty, was
I'm sorry, Attorney Knowles, would you return the exhibits back to the table when you're done with them, just so that everything remains there unless you're going to use it shortly
Absolutely.
again? Thank you.
Ms. Rafferty, was Harmony potty trained when she was in your care?
Yes, she was. She started at our house and then she finished when she moved back with her mother.
And how old would she have been at that point in her life?
So at 2.5, going on 3, she was potty trained.
What steps did you take to, you said she started at your house. What
Yeah.
steps did you take to potty train her?
Harmony was very easy to potty train. She didn't like to have, soiled clothes on, and she wanted to be like the bigger kids that were in our house. So she would tell us that it was pretty much Harmony potty trained herself.
You mentioned her mother. Do you know
Yes.
her name?
Yes,
Can you tell the jurors?
yes, it's Crystal Sorey.
And you said that Crystal Sorey finished her potty training.
Yes,
Did Harmony return to your care after that?
she did, yes.
And after Harmony returned to your care, did she have any bathroom accidents?
Absolutely not.
So, foster mom, Michelle, and I know I'm saying her last name wrong too, Rafferty, and I'm saying it still wrong, sorry. My apologies to her. We'll just call her foster mom, Michelle. She truly cares for Harmony. And she took her on 3 different occasions, and she was great for her, and she thrived with her. It's really sad and unfortunate that she couldn't have stayed with her. She's a wonderful woman, and I applaud the work that she has done and she does, and I believe she was a very valued person in Harmony's life. All right, and the next witness was Crystal Sorey, which, as we know, is Harmony's biological mother.
If you would please go ahead and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to this jury that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, Ms. Sawyer. Please feel free to have a seat. Ms. Sawyer, since we're being recorded here today, and there's a microphone right in front of you, so I will ask you to please keep your voice up to make sure that the recording picks you up. Would you please state your full name and spell both your first and your last name?
My name is Crystal Renee Sorey, Crystalsorey.
And Ms. Sawyer, what town do you live in?
I live in Fitchburg, Massachusetts.
How long have you lived there?
A year and 5 months.
And how far did you go in school?
I didn't graduate high school.
I'd like to ask you about a specific day, June 7th, 2014. What significance, if any, does that day have for you?
It was the day my daughter Harmony was born.
And Harmony was a girl, correct?
Yes.
Have you had any other daughters besides Harmony?
No.
And what was her full name?
Harmony Renee Montgomery.
Same middle name as you.
Yes.
Okay. What was her medical condition when she was born?
She was blind in her right eye. She was misdiagnosed twice before that. Yeah, just blind in her right eye.
And after about 3 months after she was born, who did she go to live with?
Michelle Rafferty.
And do you know Michelle?
Very well.
Why did she go to live with Michelle?
I am a recovering drug addict. I was struggling at the time, handling her diagnosis. I was struggling.
Is it fair to say that who you are now in 2024 is different than who you were in 2014?
Very.
In March of 2016, were you able to obtain custody of Harmony again?
Yes.
Okay. Where did the two of you live?
First, when she reunified, I was at Casa Esperanza in Roxbury. It was a reunification program, but you could only progress so much there. So then we moved to Ruth Kelly Umi's house on the other side of Roxbury, Dorchester.
Okay. When the two of you were living together, how was Harmony?
Amazing, rambunctious, very smart. By the time she was 2, she could tell you her whole life story.
She was talkative?
Yes. People didn't believe she was 2.
When you got custody and were reunified with Harmony in those two places, did you work and finish potty training with Harmony?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
And how did she take to that?
She did very well, honestly. I was kind of surprised. She was just really excited to be a big sister. Her brother had diapers, and I told her, babies wear diapers, and you're not a baby anymore. You're a big sissy. So she was right on it, and she did so well.
In September and then October, I know you were reunified in March of 2016. In September and October of 2018, did she go to live again with Michelle Rafferty?
Yes.
And when she left then, that would be the fall of 2018, how old was she?
2018. 3, I believe 3, almost 4.
Yeah, basis?
It's leading and with, I think the dates are wrong.
Your Honor, I believe the question was how old was she in the fall of 2018?
Objections overruled.
Thank you. So she was born in 2014, is that correct?
She was 4, yes.
Okay, so she was 4 in 18.
Yes.
And was she fully potty trained when she left you?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, who was Harmony's birth father?
Adam Montgomery.
And how did you meet him?
Through a mutual friend.
Was he living with you when Harmony was born?
No.
Were the two of you living together when Harmony went to live with the Raffertys?
Never.
Did you ever have any other children with Adam Montgomery?
No.
At some point in 2019, who got custody of Harmony?
Adam.
Where was Adam living at the time?
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Do you remember what street he was living on?
Guilford Street.
And is that where Harmony was as well?
Yes.
What, if any, visits did you have with Harmony after she went to live with Adam Montgomery?
I had 2 physical visits with her. And then I had 2 FaceTime calls, both very brief.
The physical visits, where did you visit her?
Excuse me. Guilford Street.
Did you visit with her outside the home or inside the home? Or
Inside the home.
Inside the home. Did you see where her room was?
No.
Okay.
He never showed me.
When you say he, who is he?
Adam never showed me. I was only allowed in the living room or the bathroom.
How did you communicate with Adam at that time?
Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah. He wouldn't give me his number.
When did you last see Harmony?
April
April of
2019.
April of 2019.
Yeah, right before Easter.
How did you see her?
Oh, I was doing a Facebook video call. That was how I had job training, so I couldn't do a physical visit that week because I didn't know my schedule.
You said that was before Easter, is that correct?
Yes,
Did you see her on Easter?
yes,
Were you able to see her after that?
no.
What did you try to do to be able to see her or talk to her after that?
I just kept reaching out to Adam and Kayla and, asking, begging them to let me see her. And I was sorry for whatever I did. I wasn't even sure what I did. But I was just trying to reach out to really anybody at that point, his family, his grandmother, his uncle, his dad, anybody.
Let me ask, did you try to reach out through the months of May and June?
Yes,
What about in July?
I believe so.
Did you receive any phone call from Kevin Montgomery, Adam's uncle, in July?
Yes,
I'm not going to go into the detail of what was said, but after that call, did you continue these efforts you talked about before, trying to get in touch with Adam?
yes,
And what about September of 2019? Were you trying to get in touch with Adam then?
yes,
What about October and November of 2019? Were you trying to get in touch with Adam then?
yes,
Christmas of 2019?
yes,
In touch with him then?
yes,
Were any of those successful?
no,
Did you see or hear from Harmony at all during that time period?
no,
What about in the year 2020? Did you continue to try to find and get in touch with Harmony or Adam?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
No problem. What about the following year, in the year 2020? Did you try to get a hold of Adam or Harmony?
Yes, I had made a new Facebook hoping, because he had blocked me and so did Kayla, I was hoping to get through to him that way.
Did you try also through 2021?
Yes,
By December of 2021, what else were you doing to try to find Harmony
I
and
was,
Adam to respond?
calling DCF. I was, telling my therapist, talking to anybody that I knew was either a mandated reporter or had some type of leverage because I wasn't getting anywhere. I had wrote also to the mayor.
And in December of 2021, did you have any meetings with the Manchester Police Department?
I'm sorry,
Yep. In December of 2021, did you meet with the Manchester Police Department about trying to find Harmony?
yes,
And with regards to that, did you provide them with any permissions to try to get more information to help find Harmony?
I signed whatever they needed me to sign.
Did any of that include medical authorizations for medical records?
Yes.
Did you provide a DNA swab for them?
Twice.
Did you provide permission for them to look at your Facebook account?
Yes.
Did you provide permission for them to find out where you had been living and contact those places to confirm your dates there?
Yes.
So this leaves out a lot of details, in my opinion, with this testimony. And I realize the state's kind of going around that because they're not going after Crystal here. And I get that. You know, she's going to have to live with this, and I can see that it's hurting her because I don't believe personally that she did everything that she could have done to get help for Harmony. I don't believe it. I think she may have made some attempts, but she didn't contact DCYF. She didn't write that letter to the mayor. The letter to the mayor was done after her younger son Jameson, who asked his adoptive fathers that he wanted to see his sister, Harmony. So that is a detail that the jury is not hearing. So that bothers me a bit. But again, we're here for justice for Harmony, and I guess we're just not going to get, that little bit. It's, in the end, did she kill Harmony? No. But was she negligent? Absolutely. She definitely was. And that's something that Crystal's going to have to live with for the rest of her life.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I'm going to show you. It's been marked State's Exhibit 101.
For identification?
Your Honor, I believe we made this a full exhibit.
I'm sorry, that's full exhibit, thank you.
Do you recognize this person?
Yes. Adam Montgomery.
This is the person that you were trying to get a hold of?
Yes.
Show now State's Exhibit 97. Who's this?
That's my girl. That's Harmony.
In the fall of 2018, when she went back to practice, do you know that if she was going to school, taking classes?
When she was with Michelle, she was, but not after.
Not after.
No.
Could you explain what you mean by that? Not after?
When she went with Adam, she never went to school.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, if we could approach. Ms. Sori, I just have one last question for you. With regards to all of those communications that you talked about through 2019, 2020, 2021, trying to get a hold of Adam Montgomery or Harmony, for any of those, were you ever able to speak with Harmony?
No.
I can have just a moment, please. And just to clarify, Ms. Sori, the last time that you saw her, I believe your testimony before was April of 2019?
Yes.
So it was not around Thanksgiving time of 2019?
No.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions for you, Ms. Sori. I believe defense counsel will have a few.
You just use the podium if you want. Leave it there.
Thank you. I'll pull it out after this. I'll pull it out after this, because I only have a couple of questions. And it sounds like Harmony was a lovely child and a joy, is that right?
Yes.
And you described on direct her getting potty trained and you comparing her to her brother,
Yeah.
your son.
Yes.
And I think she loved being a big sister to her brother, your son.
Yes.
Right? And you described how old Harmony was in September of 2018, I think. Harmony was not living with you at that time, is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You may step.
So that was actually Crystal's entire testimony. It wasn't very long, and I think it was important to hear her entire testimony here. Next up, we'll have Uncle Kevin. Of note, the nurse Travers, who saw Harmony, was up between Crystal and Uncle Kevin.
You'll remain standing for just a moment.
Thank you. Mr. Montgomery, if you would please go ahead and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that the testimony that you will give this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please feel free to have a seat. I'd like to ask, in 2019, where were you living at the first part of 2019?
2019, first part of 2019, I was living in Manchester,
And what was the street address that you were living at?
77 Guilford Street.
Who owned that home?
Excuse me?
Who owned that home? Sorry.
My mom and my ex.
And who else lived there? Let me ask, let's say in February or March of 2019, who else lived there?
So it was me, my nephew, his wife, and their kids.
And who's your nephew, sir?
Adam Montgomery,
And who was his wife at the time?
Kayla Montgomery.
Let me ask you, when you got home, did you see Harmony there?
I did.
Where did you see her?
I seen her standing in the kitchen.
And when you saw her in the kitchen, how did she look to you?
She had a black eye.
Can you describe it for us? How did the black eye look?
Full, like a raccoon's eye, black and blue.
Black and blue?
Yes,
And when you say full, what do you mean by full? Can you give us a good
all the
example?
way around.
All the way around. And I see just there you were pointing to your right eye. Did you see it on her right eye?
I honestly can't recall, but I think the left.
Okay, you think the left. Okay. I appreciate that for your honesty there. You said you saw her in the kitchen with this black eye?
Yes,
Okay. So when you saw her in the kitchen with this black eye, what, if anything, did you say? It's okay. Take your time.
Something along the words of, "Oh my fucking God, what did you do, Harmony?"
And who answered that question?
My nephew Adam,
Where was he?
standing right behind her.
And what did Adam say?
She didn't do anything. I bashed her around the fucking house.
Did Harmony ever say anything in the response to the question, or just Adam saying, "I bashed her around the fucking house"?
I think just Adam.
How did Adam say this?
How did he say it?
Yes. Or let's put it this way. Can you say it the way that he said it so that we understand?
I'm not sure. If I had to describe it to the best of my ability, it would be like a cocky son of a bitch.
Did Adam tell you why he bashed her around the house and caused the black eye?
He did.
What did he say?
He said he was in the bathroom moving his bowels, and that he put Harmony in charge to watch Declan, and when he came out, Harmony had her hands over his mouth, and I guess his lips were supposedly below. That's what was explained.
That's what Adam explained to you?
Correct.
And after he explained that, how did he say he caused the black eye?
I bashed her around the fucking house.
Was there anybody else in the kitchen when Adam said this to you?
Just the three of us.
Just you, Adam, and Harmony?
Harmony.
Let me ask you, did you stay at your house that night?
I did.
What about the night after that?
I left the following morning.
Did you ever stay in the house after that? Overnight?
I did not.
When you heard this from Adam, who did you tell about what Adam told you and seeing the black eye? Who did you tell?
You want names?
Yes, please.
Told my mom. Told my son's mother, Christina. Told my sister, Erin. My brothers, Sean, Michael, and Richard. I told one of Adam's friends, Nick and Aaron. I told Harmony's mom, Crystal. I told Harmony's foster mom, Michelle. I think I told my sister Janine, my mother Helen. That's kind of what I remember. Could you just repeat the question again?
That's all right. I believe you answered the question.
Okay.
Let me ask, did you also make any calls to what's called DCYF, or the Division of Children, Youth, and Families.
I did.
And the Nicholas and the Aaron that you referred to, is that Nicholas the same person as Nicholas Ahern?
Yes.
And is that Aaron the same person as Aaron Rue?
Yes.
Why did you tell all these people? Why did you call DCYF about this?
Say that again?
Yes. Why did you tell all of these people?
To get help
Help for who?
for Harmony.
Kevin's testimony is very difficult, so I did edit it a lot. Let's put it that way. I don't know if he's on a medication. I don't really know what his issue is. I don't want to judge the guy, although I will say I do firmly believe he was one of the failures in Harmony's life. And he did go on to say he told a dozen people that Adam told him that he gave her that black eye because he smacked her, effing up and down the house. Okay, so you tell a dozen people, and none of these people, none of them, did a darn thing. Nobody. He told his mother. He told Crystal. He told even the foster mother, he says. As much as I like Michelle, that I don't know further into, but all these people failed Harmony. Not one got her the help and saved her from the monster that is Adam. Now, they had a total of 8 witnesses today from the state. There was an ex-girlfriend who seemed to really like Adam. She met him in drug rehab. And they had a relationship. Shocking. There was a deputy. And lastly, I'm not going to play it because this video is already super long, but I do recommend if you would like to listen to him. He's apparently a postal worker now. Go figure. Demetrius Tesarsos, he is the DCYF caseworker that worked on Harmony's case. He's the one that called Crystal and left her a voice message. The Crystal did not return, and apparently he did not try again or send someone to her door. So, failure on his end as well. It's every single adult, they failed her. I don't know what else to say beyond that. It's disgusting, it's sick. And Kevin, for this time, he does seem to be very emotional. And I hope that this is hurting, because I think these people need to, they're going to have to live with this. And I think that they should. They failed this little girl. They failed little Harmony. Sweet, innocent little Harmony. She could not protect herself from Adam. She needed others to do that for her, and no one did. So that was today's and the little wrap up of yesterday's. So that's day 1 and 2. Let me know what you guys think. It was very, very emotional for me, and I know a lot of others as well. Tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend, and I will do a recap over the weekend for Friday. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And again, This is a tough one, guys. This is truly a tough one. I'm just praying for justice for sweet Harmony. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.